Hey guys, it's me, Lane, the girl from NYC. I had several requested videos and I'm going to just dive right in so this one doesn't get too long. Now, the number one question I get all the time is, how do I take care of my Louis Vuittons? So yesterday I published a blog post explaining some of the top things I do and don't do to take care of my bags so they can last a really long time. Louis Vuittons are investment pieces, so even though people like to term them expensive, they're not really expensive. They're a cost per wear item. So you buy Louis Vuittons and they will last you for years if you take care of them, and the resale value is also extremely high with proper care. So what I posted yesterday was the number one thing I don't do with any of my handbags. I don't care if it's Louis Vuitton, Coach, Michael Kors. It doesn't matter what handbag I'm carrying. I don't put any of them on the floor. And that's something that a lot of people might think it's really silly, but it has nothing to do with the brand. It's just a personal thing. It's something I've learned not to do. First of all, the floor is dirty. Bathroom floors are disgusting. So I don't put my handbags on the floor. Now, one of the reasons why you don't want to put your handbag on the floor is because floors can be wet and all of these things can destroy your bag. And also, it can cause rubbing on the vachetta, or it can scratch the canvas or the leather, whichever bag you're carrying. So that's the reason why I don't put my handbags on the floor. Okay, so I had a question about this bag. This is the Damier Croisset wallet, and someone was asking if the iPhone 8 Plus or 7 Plus could fit in this bag. I'm gonna put my phone, I have the 10, I'm gonna put my phone in there and see how it fits. Here is the 10 going in. It's not that much space left over, so I can't imagine the 8 Plus fitting in there, especially with a case. Like, my husband has an OtterBox on his 8 Plus, so I don't think that would actually fit inside this bag. So that's number one. Number two, I don't carry pens in any of my bags. I don't carry pens, markers, Sharpies, pencils, anything that can leave a mark. It's gonna be really hard to get it out and you'd have to scrub it, and I don't want to deal with that. So the interiors of my bags are always extremely clean because I don't put anything in there except what should go in, such as a phone, my debit cards, things like that. So I don't just put random pieces in my bags. The other thing I don't do, I don't put sharp objects in my handbag. So like, let's say if you have a nipper or a tweezer, I don't put stuff like that in my bag. I don't even put, if it's a larger Louis Vuitton or a designer bag, I don't even put sharp objects in other bags that I can then put in my Louis Vuitton. I just don't, because I always think something is going to poke through and destroy my bag. So I don't do that at all. I know maybe that's kind of extreme, but again, after you spend that much money on it, you don't want to just do things like that to ruin the interior lining or the canvas or the leather. So that's, you know, those are the top three things. I don't put them on the floor, I don't carry sharp objects, and I don't carry pens, pencils, markers. And the other thing I don't do, depending on the print, like for instance with the Damier Azure print, I don't carry this in the rain. And if I get caught in the rain, then I will like wrap this bag in a plastic bag or something, or leave it in the car until I can take it out, because this bag I've had for, I'm gonna say, about a year and a half, and this is what happened to it. I don't know if you can see that. So I have some raindrops that fell on the strap, and I was so upset. Now I know over time the bags will patina, and that's part of owning Louis Vuitton. So I I'm fine with that, but I was just devastated with the rain droplets falling on the bag. I know it's really silly, but that was something that really annoyed me. The other thing is, I'll talk about this print more right now, and then I'll get into the other ones. So with this print, it's not, the vachetta is the leather, okay? And over time it does patina, it gets darker. It starts out really light, and with the oil from your hands and humidity, moisture in the air, sunlight, it will darken. And it's kind of one of those things that is like classic Louis Vuitton, so it's not something to run from. I think for me, the raindrops was more like, oh my goodness, rain fell on my bag. But over time, like I said, it starts out with the little drops, but then after you're carrying it a lot, they'll smooth out. So it's not the biggest issue. And also, one thing I don't do with this bag, like I told you before, I don't carry this in the rain, and if I end up being out in the rain with it, I cover it as well as I can, and then I try not to make the damage even worse. So that's one thing, the rain. The second thing is, don't wear denim with this print, because this vachetta and the bag, they're not treated, so the denim color will transfer onto the canvas, and you're not gonna get it out. Now with the vachetta, you can actually have at the Louis Vuitton store, they can remove this leather lining, and they can you can change out the lining of your entire bag, but it can get kind of pricey. So if you can just take care of it, you know, that's like before even, like preventative measures, I would say, would be the best thing. So no rain, no water, no oil. And the top 3 rules I said before about no floor, no hard surfaces, so you don't scratch the canvas. The other thing is, like, if you're going to wear this bag, and again, if you don't want the patina to happen too quickly, then just don't carry the bag by the strap. Try not to carry it that way. Just always maybe put it on your shoulder and leave it, you know, that way, instead of in the crook of your arm or in your hand, because again, it will transfer oils much more quickly. So inside of this bag, once again, is extremely clean. I keep my bags, I have a display case, so they're not covered in the dust bags at all. They used to be, and then I took them out, but I do have them stuffed with clothing. Now, the other thing is, and I'll get back to that in just one second. So you see the vachetta on the bottom? See, this is why you don't want to put it on the floor. That can all get scratched. It can rub off, and if this is something you're trying to sell in a few years, those are the areas where you want to pay particular attention, because you can see that really well. And especially like when you're walking, if you're swinging the bag and it hits the wall, it hits, just, you have to just be really careful, especially like if you're holding keys in your hands. Try to not, I do that with my the chain straps of my other bags. I try not to get my car keys in the same hand, because I don't want the car keys to scratch the gold. So like I said, I'm really picky with how I take care of my bags, but that's one thing. So just keep the lining clean, and you can do that by not carrying certain things. Don't overstuff the bags. Don't stuff them with plastic bags. You want to keep the bags with air circulating around them. So if you put plastic in your bags, then air can't get through. If you store the bags in boxes, then air can get through, and it'll actually dry out the canvas. So those are some of the top things with the Damier Azur. And I'm going to move on to the next one. So the Damier Eben. This is a treated bag. So you can't necessarily transfer anything onto this print, But if you have a different color lining, like I have the rose ballerine, so that can be stained and marked as well. So again, try not to use sharp objects, or sometimes you get those small packs of sanitizer from Bath and Body Works. I rarely keep those in my bag. Sometimes I do, and I'm always so careful, but I'm paranoid. So a lot of times I don't do anything. And a lot of people make fun. They're like, oh my gosh, you don't have anything in your bags. I normally have my coin purse or my wallet or receipts and things like that in my bags. Again, I try not to put, you know, heavy, bulky, sharp objects. So I always keep the bags really intact. So I wasn't always like that. That started just a few years ago when I realized the resale value was really high, because when I first started out owning Louis Vuittons, again, I never put them on the floor. I didn't carry pens and things like that. But as the years have progressed and I've owned more and more of them, I've become a lot more strict with how I use my handbags. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to another print. Now this is the Monogram Print, and this is the patina I'm talking about. So over the years, the vachetta gets dark. It's not a bad thing. That kind of show that that is an authentic Louis Vuitton. Here's the bottom of this bag. And this has been in my family for a long time, so it's not a new bag. But this is how I store my bags. I did tie it just for the video, but I normally don't keep this tied. I normally leave it like this and store it. But then I have t-shirts inside to help it keep its shape. And another thing you shouldn't do is keep the buckles buckled. Like I said before, this is not a new bag. We've had this for a long time, and I think over the years we've just, you know, left the straps buckled. But this is what happens when you leave them buckled. So I wouldn't leave any of my bags buckled anymore. So just take it from me. Don't, you're using your bag, just buckle them while you're using them and tie these while you're using them. But as soon as you take them off and you're not wearing them anymore, just undo everything. And then same thing for the bottom. Don't put this on the floor. Try to keep it away from water, because that also, this vachetta, because it's not treated, it will stain. If you get oil and lotions and things like that, pen marks, it'll damage it. So just be careful, just be mindful of that. And again, in the blog post from yesterday on thegirlfromnyc.com, I went through all the steps of how to take care of this. So if you get something on the bag, don't take a cloth and just, you know, rub it. Like, actually get a lint-free, fragrance-free, like a piece of cloth, and just maybe gently pat it, because you don't want to, especially around the printed areas, you don't want to start rubbing around that. You can use soapy water and gently, mildly, softly, everythingly clean it. This is a cosmetic bag, and again, I don't put these on the floor. This is like a great evening bag. So if you're out for the evening and you're at the dinner table, just be careful when you're putting it on the table that you don't set it on water. And again, you can clean it the same way. If you ever have a problem with your handbags, you can always take them to Louis Vuitton. Some things they will do for free. Other things they will take the bag and they'll ship it, and they'll have quality control look at the bag and kind of give you an estimate and let you know what needs to be done. But again, I strongly recommend Louis Vuitton. They are covered for the first 2 years, and then after that, it's a case-by-case basis of what they'll charge to make, you know, repairs. And but if you take care of your bags really well, they will last you forever. Like this bag, again, it's not new. Almost like my mom and my sister have both carried this bag, and now I'm carrying it. and they'll last forever. We made some minor mistakes with leaving the bag buckled, but those are not mistakes that we'll make anymore because now we know better. So as I'm talking to you, I'm actually going to be undoing the buckles so that way we don't have that. So see? So now I have undone them, and then I'll just stuff them with the clothes. And if you have any other questions, just leave me some comments below or questions. Please like, share, and subscribe. Read my blog post, thegirlfromnyc.com, and look out because I will be uploading more videos very shortly. Thanks for watching. Bye.